changes to this? Probably not.
It is now.
Okay. I didn't know we didn't have- Okay. This is
Well, indirectly.
official time. I'd like to call this meeting to order for the Thursday, August 14th meeting of the Seneca County Board of Commissioners. Welcome. Please join us for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So join me for a quick prayer. Lord, thank you for this beautiful day and for the many blessings you bestow upon us. Please be with us as we gather at this time for the purpose of conducting county business and doing what's best for the citizens of this county. Thank you. Amen.
Amen.
Roll call.
Commissioner Stacy?
Here.
Commissioner Zoller?
Here.
Commissioner Whitner?
Here.
All right, we'll have the signing of the journal and accept a motion to approve the DVD recording of the previous board session from Tuesday, August 5th and the index.
We'll make a motion, we approve it as outlined.
Second?
Motion and second. All those in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Approved. Thank you. All right. Any adjustments to the written agenda?
The only thing I have, I wanted to let you know about that listening tour that's coming in on Monday. I didn't know if any of you would be interested in coming.
Okay.
The airport, I'd like to get an update on that. I understand there was some notices sent out, and kind of get an overview of what, where, when, and how.
Okay.
Same thing.
Okay. All right. Nothing else, Nikki? You have anything else? All right. Well, let's vote those items. Well, I guess the airport is the old business. I guess the listening tour technically is new business, so we'll start with the airport. I guess update with public meeting that's scheduled.
Yeah, I understand, I got a call from some of the neighbors, and they were asking if we were gonna send notices out, and you and I talked about it, and I said, well, one way to save money, why don't we just go out and print them up and stick them in every mailbox out there, real simple, saves money, and we'll end up, they got locked mailboxes, so we can't do that, and there's some kind of law, you can't put private
People's
stuff
mailbox,
into
right?
a mailbox, so we run into legal, so I guess we had to spend the money, but then I understand that there was something sent out, or someone said that they received a notice, so that was news to me, so what is the status?
I sent the notices out that said when it was, the date and time, that Richland Engineering, the commissioners, and Brad would be there. I didn't put FAA because, Pat with Richland didn't know if she would be able to come or not. So I put just Richland commissioners and Brad, time for questions, comments.
That is the 26th
Mhm.
at 6:30. Okay.
26 at 6:30, it's gonna be at Tiffany. It's an open public meeting,
It's not a meeting, it's an open house.
an open house, okay. From what I understand is because FAA they've cut their budget, that they don't have a lot in their travel budget, so they may not have enough money that wherever FAA's
what
at
I
to
was
drive
told.
from there down to here to be an open house. I strongly recommend that Brad or Richland Engineering get some pictures.
He's been told that,
Okay.
copies of the,
Potential aircraft that we're proposing to bring in to this community that could help spur economic growth, as some of the big industrial and people would have corporate jets, so that we can get those in here, and so that everyone has an understanding, because so everyone knows the size of the plane dictates on what kind of open space you have to have. Like a 747 would need much more open space than a little Cessna thing, so you can't give me a number like a A287, doesn't mean anything, but if I seen a picture of something, I could visualize and say, okay, this I could see as corporate America coming in to potentially look at Seneca County to build a plant or employ people. So that's why I think that picture is so important.
and he'll have those and copies of the master plan and all that there.
The way I, just throw in my 2 cents, the way I would envision this happening is the president might start off with, welcome and kind of set the ground rules for the meeting. And then I could see Richland Engineering giving a little presentation. Here's the master plan, here's where the lines are, here's where they could be if we did, went from a class 1 to a class 2. I have no idea if that's the classes or not. And then let people ask questions after that. That would be my kind of vision of it.
And since it's open house, I'm thinking they're envisioning people might be there at 6:30 and they might not come in till, is there any time on it?
8.
Okay, or they might not walk in till 7:30.
Sure.
But I'm assuming there's a lot of people there at the beginning of it, I think that would be a great way to start. And then knowing that some of those things are going to be repeated as new people come in. So,
Yeah,
That
I
would-
called one of the residents, that's probably why it got around. Mr. Ware wanted me to call him and let him know when it was, and he's calling the neighbors, so.
yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
we've sent
and she has
we've sent
mailed out.
notice
Oh, we've
out
sent
too.
notices, okay.
Yeah,
Mailing notices? Oh, okay, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what,
Because it's not a hearing, so there's no
No.
requirements on a certain number of people, right? It's a public meeting.
Right, I
But
just-
obviously, we're doing it for the people
Okay.
that are impacted the most
Okay.
potentially, so.
did you send notices to everyone on the hill or just those people that are affected that front the airport? Or shall I say back the airport?
I would have to show you on Julie's website, I don't know. I just went.
She
to-
pulled the addresses from the
Nobody
others.
could give me addresses. I had to go on Julie's website and get them myself, so.
Okay. Well, hopefully that word of mouth, and it's in the paper too, that would open it up if we happen to miss somebody, that is certainly, they've got an interest
Yeah.
of what's done up there.
And Richland would have to know that we're expecting a few words from them. They don't have to have a big speech, but a few words, and then have the map there to answer questions. I like people to be able to go point at their house and say, how does this affect me, or
Yeah.
where am I at in this zone?
I would still continue to try to lobby FAA. I think that will be helpful, because FAA is the ones that sets the regulations.
Maybe Brad should fly and go there.
I'm sure he would. He'd be very receptive, because again, as I have stated many times, this is not the neighbors versus Brad Newman. This is really Brad Newman trying to adhere to what FAA is mandating. And what we feel as county commissioners is what kind of aircraft is receptive and conducive to bring businesses to this area. So it all kind of fits together, and FAA is really they establish the rules. We don't do that. We just gotta try to abide by them.
Okay. Good. All right, was there anything else for old business? Mr. Majors, did you have anything you wanted to share, or you just here to?
I'm here to answer any questions or anything you
One
guys
other
need from me.
thing for old business, did Lenny Klaus say did he mention when he's gonna start?
No, we've got the machines moved out of that area, so it's ready for him to get started, but I know Tanya's been talking to his secretary, and we said something last week, or no, Tuesday. Said that you had mentioned you talked to Lenny, so he's getting close, but we haven't heard an official when he's gonna start, because the people in the audit, or in the RTA got the notice about moving the mail machine, so well, you didn't tell us they were gonna start working. I said, well, we don't know for sure when he's gonna start working yet. We're just getting prepared, so we moved him into the conference room downstairs.
Do we wanna discuss, we were very fortunate and got another bid in for the cleaning of the outside, which was basically half
Yeah.
of what the other was. I mean, do we wanna look at discussing that, so once, because we're getting towards the end of the season here of when you can start spring cleaning or pressure washing and so forth, that if Lenny happens to get that done in the next month or so, that we could then, start right on it and do the cleaning yet this year. So I mean, is this the time we wanna sign a contract, even though we don't want the work to start until after Lenny's done? But I think this is gonna start happening fairly quickly here.
So do you have that other?
Yeah, that's the one I
information?
mentioned when we were in Bettsville.
Yeah.
Mentioned that
Okay.
quote,
It
and,
was like 12, wasn't it?
no,
Four.
4,500, I think it was.
Yeah, it was about half of what the other one
Oh, the
was.
second, yeah.
Yeah, the
other
second
was-
one, yeah, the first one was over 9,
Okay.
so. But we have money in contract services for maintenance that's in place for stuff like that, so
Okay.
if and when you guys decide, it's not gonna be a matter of waiting for another meeting, so
Yeah.
just let me know.
Well, we don't even have to have another meeting then. We can just,
No,
Yeah,
money's there.
because-
just,
Yeah, that's,
once Lenny's got his stuff done, we can just go ahead and do it then.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't wanna prolong the thing by us having to go to a meeting because, you know, again, you start getting into October, end of October, I don't know if I'd wanna be out there pressure washing.
yeah.
Yeah.
We'll just see when Lenny gets done and then,
Okay.
sound good?
Sounds good. Okay. So did anybody have any questions for Mr. Majors, since he's sitting here?
Do you want to update Bloomingdale's meeting?
Yeah, we're moving along pretty well with the districts and the way they're forming, and Bloomville's still doing the community awareness meetings. And we're having another one, I don't have it in my calendar, I apologize, I think it's September 13th, but I'll firm that up with you. That we're bringing the EMS manning issues to the public to determine what it is that we'd like to do there as far as joining a district or forming a district. So that's what Bloomville's up to, and I know that you guys have, nothing's really changed since the last time I met with you regarding Betsville, Liberty, and Jackson, and or Adams, Pleasant, and Green Springs. Nothing's really changed, so.
For the record, it looks like all the districts are receptive to join larger ambulance districts with the exception, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm trying to get this for the record, with the exception of Adams, Pleasant, and Green Springs. They are looking at alternatives, and Republic. Everyone else, and I know that New Riggle, they're waiting, Bascom's waiting for a request to come in. So everyone's
No.
kind of got a plan in
That's
place
backwards.
except,
Right.
That's backwards. Just, I mean, I just don't want it to get confused. New Riggle, Big Springs, and Seneca,
I formed a
they've already formed a district. That's NBS.
I'm sorry, I meant
You meant Liberty,
Liberty.
Liberty, Jackson, and Betsville.
Betsville.
And they
Betsville.
were talking to Bascom about
Yes,
joining Bascom,
yes.
and I don't know where they're at in
And
their
that
communications.
meeting hasn't happened yet. It's will happen here in the in the coming weeks. When Bascom Joint Ambulance District meets again, they'll discuss that. But I know Betsville, Liberty, and Jackson are well underway with either of the two options of either joining a district or forming a
That's
district.
so they kind of, a plan's coming together.
Yes.
The ones that don't have a plan yet,
Yes.
Republic, Adams, Pleasant, and Green Springs.
Correct.
There's,
They're working on things.
I don't know that we want to say that.
Yeah, they're working on things.
They were
We just,
set, last time we got quoted as saying they weren't.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they're-
What they
they're
did was
doing their
they
homework.
formed a committee, and I believe that was in the paper last week. They formed a committee, an EMS task force, I believe they called it, to research all their options, and they've got plenty of options on the table out there. So I think what they're doing is very similar to what everybody else is doing, is they're researching what their options are and gonna move forward from there.
They
The
just haven't
newspaper
chosen
they were
that
gonna
option
do.
yet.
They haven't chosen the
Yeah.
option, they've not reached out to me for any input or any further. Our plan that we put forth at the April 5th meeting is still very valid, and I think it's, as evidenced by what we've seen, it is very effective, so,
I think it's safe to say a lot of progress has been made.
absolutely.
We have 2 districts that are formed and are on the ballot, others that are still weighing options, but a lot of progress has been made since our big meeting in March or whenever that was.
April
April.
5th.
I mean, the ultimate goal was to make sure we were getting the volunteers to provide the service, and that's happening in different ways. Still not 100% in service, but we've made progress.
Right, and we're looking for leadership at the local level to maintain local control at the local government level. And I think that a lot of the local governments have embraced that, and some are still researching. So it's, I think it's safe to say we've made better progress than I ever anticipated in the short term. And we'll see how it goes in the long term. But I predict the same sort of success that we've had so far. I think it's gonna go well.
Yeah.
Just gonna take a while.
Yeah, I mean, it's really been 4 months.
It has.
I mean, for some reason, April to August sounds like it's a longer span of time, but.
It seems like a
It's
long
not.
time when you go to as many meetings as I've been to. But it really hasn't been that long. It really hasn't. We've moved forward very rapidly with this. I think people understand the importance of it.
Green Springs is scheduled, they have a meeting the 18th to discuss this topic, so maybe we'll find out more answers after Monday. I think they're having it at their regular
The
Green
regularly
Springs
scheduled
Council.
Green
Village
Springs Council
Council.
meeting,
Yeah,
7
right.
PM, Monday the 18th.
So hopefully we'll hear more.
Yeah.
That was
after
just,
that
that was
meeting.
from the paper, so I think that's probably correct.
Would be accurate, 100%, right?
I'm sure it is.
They're both,
96. Depends on the day.
okay, thank you. Anything else for old business? Okay, move to new business and let's do the listening tour. This was regarding the state fire marshal, Mike,
Yes,
came through from Dan.
Dan had forwarded this to me, and it said fire marshal was going to be in the area, basically to give, sounds like fire departments an update of what they're up to, and I guess with the listening tour comes from to see any questions, comments the fire departments may have, and they said the fire chiefs or other county officials, if they would be interested in coming. I don't know.
When is it?
The 18th at 10:30 a.m.
Are the townships invited to it, the volunteer fire departments, are they invited to it also?
The email indicated that they send it up to all the fire chiefs.
Yep.
And this is at ABR,
Yep,
at Attica.
yep.
Is Larry Flowers the fire chief or the fire marshal?
This was from Lindsay, but it just doesn't say, I don't know who the,
I'm not sure who the fire marshal is currently. Apologize.
I served with Larry.
yeah. And so I just figured I'd pass it on to see if anybody, I
Do
mean,
we
we
need-
have
do we
nothing
need-
over the fire departments, but,
Do we need to RSVP or can we just show up?
it just says if anybody would like to come, contact Lonnie or
Okay,
Brett Myers. I can just let him know that we might have somebody showing up.
That works. Right, then we will move through with our listed items of new business, starting with the bill vouchers.
I have bill vouchers 82 and 83. I have a supplement to the permit appropriations for the Law Library Resources Board. 032, putting $1,500 into equipment. I have a supplement to the permit appropriations for the Public Assistance Fund, 030, putting $215,000 into their public assistance line. I have an appropriation adjustment within the general fund, moving $3,000 from contract services to contract repairs, and $20,000 from same account line. Oh, no, one's for the roadside and one's for the jail side. Moving $20,000. Again, this is for the sheriff's office. I have a supplement to the permit appropriations for the Child Support Enforcement Agency budget 019, putting $2,000 into advertising and printing. I have a resolution authorizing an appropriation adjustment within the general fund, moving $200 from contract services to other expense, and $770 from travel to other expense, and this is request of Board of Elections. The resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor. I have a resolution setting time, date, and place to receive sealed bids for the Klopp property for the HSTS program. So it'll be September 2nd, Tuesday, September 2nd at 10:30 a.m. at the Commissioner's office. The next resolution is, we must have missed a resolution when we purchased the TerraStar ambulance. So I have a resolution authorizing the purchase of a 2014 International TerraStar ambulance through the Ohio Department of Administrative Services Cooperative Purchasing Program in lieu of bidding on behalf of the Seneca County EMS. And we will put a retroactive date on here because it needs to be, and there isn't one on here.
Excuse me, this is the one we've already purchased?
Yes.
Okay.
We had
And
all
I seen
the-
that on there, I
Yeah.
thought we just bought one every 3 years.
We do, we missed the resolution.
Okay, so
Yeah,
this
that's
is the one
just-
we've already bought?
Yeah,
Yep.
it's bought, it's in service,
Okay, okay.
already running.
Yeah,
all.
that's the one in Green Springs, so we'll put a retroactive on that one. It's just we had to have the language about the cooperative purchasing program, so. And then I have a resolution authorizing a revised agreement with Vasala for the Seneca County Airport AWAS maintenance agreement.
I move we approve.
Seconded.
Okay, motion and a second to approve resolutions as stated. Any questions, comments? Concerns? Okay, seeing none, roll call please.
Commissioner Wagner,
Yes.
Commissioner Zoller,
Yes.
Commissioner Stacy.
Yes. All stand approved as presented. This time, are there any citizens' comments from anyone? Going for it.
Easy
Okay.
peasy.
Seeing none. Any other business that needs to be brought before?
Nice breakfast this morning, the new teacher's breakfast. They had
Yeah.
a real good turnout in Heidelberg.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll tell you, I
Nice
was
annual chamber.
amazed. The young girl, the Kenny Egbert's daughter, 7th grader, she's taken on the charge of collecting books and distributing those out to members of the community. I mean, was she 12 years old?
She's 12.
Yeah, it's just, and how important books were in her life and blah, 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 blah. It was really quite inspiring. Something should be in the paper about that.
Well, it was. They had an article about her.
Well, they did?
Yeah, they had an article about her a couple weeks ago. Maybe not that long ago.
Guess they
but
should
something-
read the paper then.
A little while ago.
All right, well, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion.
Second?
Motion second. All those in favor say aye.
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 We stand adjourned, 10:22. That's